Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back for today's session. I'll do a very quick update as usual of some of the trades we talked about. I think yesterday was pretty good. And what we'll do next is to look out for some of the newer opportunities for today. Okay, so first up over here, let's take a look at some of the trades that we had. We talked about yesterday, and of course, we do have those trades running, and those trades are pretty fantastic at the moment. Okay, let's talk about the two winning trades that we have. Okay, so the first one here, you still remember, this was actually yesterday. We talked about the Aussie dollar. Okay, why we are looking to sell here. Of course, we do have like about 1 or 2 hours of drawdown, but after that, it was a pretty good drop and immediately hitting our take profit, right? This was, I think, about 40 plus pips, right? It's 30 plus, close to 40 pips of profit. Okay, pretty straightforward, and of course you do see price continue to fall lower, but that's the part of intraday trading, right? We are looking for short-term opportunities, getting in, getting out, and then we just keep looking for the next opportunity whenever it presents itself. Okay, so that's common if you're doing intraday trading, where you see, okay, you exited with the profits, and then price just keep moving in the direction that you want. It's part of intraday strategies, right? So don't have to worry too much about it, because what we are looking out for is if the direction is continuing in the same one that we're projected, we'll look for another opportunity, get in, get out again, get in and get out again, right? So this was a good trade, pretty straightforward. I think another one here was dollar yen, right? We talked about yesterday as well. This was trade. We enter here almost instantly. We've got into the profit. That was about close to 30 pips. Okay, the third trade here is on pound dollar. Again, based on management of trades. If you guys remember, we talked about this yesterday, right? If you have about like 20 to 30 pips, or even close to like plus 1R, it's a good practice to shift your stops to break even. Okay, and what you see over here, of course, the pound dollar actually came down like 50 pips, right? That was very, very significant, but our target was way below here. Okay, and of course, right now, if you didn't manage to shift your stops yesterday, you will still be running in this trade pretty good profits as of now. But for me, you can see, right, 50 plus pips for an intraday strategy. I'll immediately just shift my stops to break even. Okay, so this trade here, we got out at break even for myself. Okay, these are the three active trades that I have an outcome. The other pending orders, I would suggest you to just remove it right now. Okay, and we'll look at it for today. Okay, so a quick update of this week's performance. Okay, so yesterday we had Aussie dollar and the dollar yen. Okay, I round out a little bit. I think this was like about 30 plus, close to 40, right? So I just round out a little bit. This was 28, so I just round out a little bit. Okay, to me that plus minus 1 or 2 pips really doesn't really make or break your account, right? So I just like to round up the numbers to just look pretty neat. Okay, so as for this week here, we are up by about 130. Okay, so if you give a minus, even if it's 125, that to me is a pretty solid week so far. Okay, so that's the quick update of the trades that we took and the outcome of it. So let's take a look at some of the opportunities presented to us for today. Okay, now before I do that, if you are really because so far what I've been doing is more like a one-way direction where I just keep talking. Okay, but I would really appreciate if for any of this session, you really benefited from it, you enjoy such session, just give me a feedback, right? Let me know. You can reply to the emails, or even put it in the chat. Just basically let me know if you enjoy this. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the opportunities that we might have today. Okay, so this is on euro dollar. We always start off with this. On the 4-hour time frame, we are going into more or less a consolidation zone as of right now. Okay, so when price is ranging, we are using the range bound strategy, which is more like the harmonic price patterns, right? So for now, there's really nothing much that's setting up over here. Okay, if I want to squeeze something in, of course, I do have that. Let me just do quickly. Yeah, okay, we have a bad pattern setting up, but again, I did a quick check over here. Okay, based on the intraday range, if we were to enter this, I don't think it's gonna happen today. So I'm just gonna leave this here. I think nothing much. Pound dollar, I'm still bearish overall, but for now, there's no setup to sell, right? Yeah, that doesn't hit the requirement, right? So nothing on this as well. Okay, Aussie dollar is starting to drop pretty nicely. Okay, but from a 4-hour perspective, what you want to be cautious is, of course, it still does look a bit of a range environment, right? So don't get too aggressive in selling. For today, there's no clear setup yet. Okay, so I don't, some of you would like to just do this, right? Pull the Fed and let's shop at the 618 or the 50%. I don't do that. Okay. Fit to me is just another layer of measurement, another layer of analysis. I need to have more confluences. Okay, but for now, really nothing much is jumping out. Okay. Kiwi dollar, you can see on the higher time frame, we are also in pretty much a range for now. Okay, so price is just going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Yeah, there is a potential pattern here. Okay, there's a potential buy pattern. Okay, but I'm a little bit not too interested in the buy. Okay, this is actually a sharp pattern. Okay, so I'm gonna put it here, but I won't be personally looking to take this. It's more for those of you who are really keen to kind of like consider this trade. Okay. Now, I'm not keen on this because on the higher time frame, the general direction looks like this is coming down. Okay, so I'm looking at this as an intraday kind of like counter trend basis. You can definitely still potentially profit from this, but for me, it's not something I would really love to get involved in. Okay, anyway, I'm not like forced to execute trades every day, right? I want to just take trades that are pretty solid and has a higher probability of winning. So if you're looking to take this trade, then this is how you can set it up. Of course, the risk reward you can see is pretty decent. Okay, I would say decent is very, very good. Okay, so the idea here is if you are looking to trade this pattern here, you'll be looking to buy around 0.711. Okay, the stop is gonna go below 709D. Okay, so that's about 20 pips of stops, and the target here I'll be very conservative if I were to take this trade. Okay, it will be at 7160, right? Because it's a counter trend, so it will be using the conservative way of targeting the first target. Okay, but I won't be taking this, so yeah, I won't be putting it into the PowerPoint. It's just to share with you guys who are here, right? So dollar CAD, we had a buy, right, pending buy, but it didn't enter and it just keep going, right? So what you see over here is, of course, is at the upper bound of the range, but from a lower time frame point of view, we are actually in an uptrend. Okay, so you can see this high here has been broken, so we have a higher high, higher low at this current moment. Okay, so definitely we'll be looking to kind of use the trend strategy to trade it. Okay, one of it is, of course, to pull the Fib and see if there's any confluence coming in. For now, we do have this area here as a potential confluence. Okay, somewhere between the 382 and, of course, 50. And if you are looking at a 50%, we do have the L3 camarilla level for the day as well. Okay, if you ask me, it's a pretty decent setup, but I shared with you guys, I think, like when we started this whole intraday things, I don't really like the 38.2 or kind of like the retracement level that is a little bit shallow. The reason is because I don't really have much reference to put my stop other than this low here. Okay, and that is like a huge risk to reward ratio being discounted, right? So my stop loss is so wide, then my reward ratio is going to be like small. Okay, so it's not something that I like. Okay, it's not something that I would personally be in favor of. Okay, so while it's a valid one, I won't be taking it for now. I'll give it more time and see how price develop. All right. So again, no need to rush into it. Okay. Next up, we do have the dollar yen. Okay. So we talk about this. There's a huge potential to the upside, right? Perhaps it's already starting. I don't know, right, whether it's going to be this move up and we are going to see it go, or it's going to come back. first, okay? But anyway, you can see this is again a very clear uptrend, right? It has broken this, you have a higher high, higher low, okay? So the big picture is also printing to the upside. So very straightforward, I'll be using a trend following strategy. And this one is where I like about it, right? You can see the 618 L3, the previous structure coming in over here, okay? I can easily protect my stops at the 786, okay? So a pretty tight stops. And of course, the target here will be definitely worth it, okay? So this is, I think, the only one trade that perhaps we'll be looking at, okay? Something like this, okay? So I might want to open this pretty. I'm thinking of front running this order, but again, if I put it up here, it's really too high. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, now in terms of target, again, as an intraday basis, I think I would just probably put somewhere at the H5 or even H4, right? Let me just do a very quick check on this. Yeah, probably you can put it here. Okay, something like this. Yeah. I'll take a screenshot of this and put it into the PowerPoint. Right. So let me remove all this. This was yesterday's one. Today, this is it. Okay. We do have a buy at 103.86. Okay. The stops will go at 103.70, and the target here is gonna go to 104.65. Okay, 104.65. Dollar yen. All right, so I think this is the only trade that we'll really consider. I'm gonna put in this. Let me just quick check. Yeah, that's about 15 pips, right? Pretty tight, but it's fine. 103.7 and target here is 104.65. Yeah, that's about it. All right, good. Okay, so this is one of the trade that we can consider. I think for gold, really nothing much. Again, it's in a range environment. No clear setup. We'll just leave it as it is. Okay. I don't think that's a valid one. Yeah, something valid. Okay. So yeah, gold has really nothing. So I'll just suggest you just keep it there. So for today, really only one of the good trades here that I think is solid is really the dollar yen. Okay, but of course we need to see if price retraces back. Okay, that's about 40 pips. I think it's pretty doable in the day because of the daily range of dollar yen. You can really hit that. Okay. Yeah. So that's about it. Okay. I really hope that you don't join in just for trade signals. Okay. The idea here is, of course, I want to be as real as what trading is and really show you the entire process, right, of how we do it. Of course, in a very concise and like shorter version of it. Okay. Of course, if you're looking to trade it, you probably won't do it in like 15 minutes like what I do. Okay. But I want to let you know that this is a progressive journey, right? Today I'm able to share this with you like really straight off live and in a very short period of time, like 15-20 minutes. It's really because I've been doing this for some time. I would say many times. Okay. Of course, all the hard work has been put in. Okay. That's why the efficiency of it, okay, can be at this level. But if you are just getting started, okay, don't get scared off on trading. Okay. But I want you to see the possibility of what the financial market can give us. Okay, so I hope you don't just take this as like a signal. Oh, today, you know, Kar Yong is buying on this. Let's follow, and then you know you don't understand anything. You don't even bother to go and pick up anything. Okay, and you just come in every day and say, okay, he's buying dollar yen today. Let's follow. Oh, he's buying like dollar CAD yesterday, and then let's follow. Okay, yeah, it's. I mean, I would be happy if you can actually make money together. Okay, but of course, not every day, not every week is gonna be like ideal, right? It's not gonna be sure win all the time. Okay, but I really want to be as real as it gets to show you the entire process of it. All right, so again, just a very quick summary. I would like to keep this short and concise. Okay, understand again, you know, perhaps not all of you have that time to really commit to all this session. Okay, so yeah, so take note of the risk management. I'm just gonna put this here, of course. And today there's only one trade that we're gonna get involved with. That's common, right? Usually when we have like a good run of few trades, naturally it means that the market has been moving. We'll need to then be, for the next few days, perhaps it'll be a little bit quiet. We need to wait for a while before price kind of like consolidate backs to come and give us the entry point before we execute another trade. Okay, so that's something common, right? So I want you to also take note that it's not every day you get like multiple trades. Okay, so case in point, today you only have one. Okay, whether this trade is going to play out, we'll let the market decide. We'll control what we can, which is our technique of entry, our management of risk, and things like that. Right, so that's all from me for today's session. Pretty straightforward. Okay, and I really hope you guys have been benefiting, learning from this, and you know, my objective here is to help out as many people as I can through this session over here. All right, so that's all for me. Have a great day ahead, and I'll see you guys soon again. All right, bye bye.